Hey peeps, happy Monday. Dose Victoria here. Hope all is well. So, welcome to Monday Night Soulful Conversations. I have an amazing guest that's joining me. She is my sister, confidant, love her to death. We've known each other for like 500 years. And I just wanted to bring her on. So, let me tell you a little about this Miss Lady over here. She is a wonderful, wonderful human being. I've met her in, I think, 2014, something to that effect, 2014, 2015. And she pretty much is definitely someone who I respect and admire and all of the things, as I say. And just looking for her bio. I should have been more prepared. Okay. So, Coach Dea is the person I'm bringing on in a little bit. She's a dedicated advocate for women's empowerment and a skilled marriage and divorce coach. As an award-winning podcast host, she uses her platform to inspire and guide others on their journeys to self-discovery and resilient relationships. With a passion for helping women navigate life's challenges, Coach Dea is committed to fostering empowerment and resilience in every aspect of her clients' lives. So definitely would like for you to hand clap, even though we don't know what you're hand clapping about, but no clap for Coach Dea. Hi, Dea.
Hey,
How you doing?
such a cute introduction. Thank you so much for having me once again. And yes, we met in
Okay.
2015, and
Okay.
we have done, I think we have a history of many lives, right? We have done a lot of work together, and it's been
Yeah.
equally nice to work with you and your expertise of spirituality and inspiring people to, be who they need to be in life. And it's just been amazing. I love just doing this with you. And I have interviewed you on my podcast as
I
well.
know. We hit you with each other in each other's podcasts. We always swap in podcasts. It's crazy. Hi, Annabelle. Thank you so much for joining. Appreciate it. So we have 4 people viewing. Can you please let us know where you're viewing from and what's your name and all that good stuff? So Coach Dea and I are going to be talking about honoring your feelings. That is the topic for the Soulful Conversations tonight. Happy Monday. It is Monday. It is the kickstart of the week, and that's the reason why I decided to do it on a Monday, because kickstart the week gets you nice and pumped and motivated and all those good things. So let's just jump into it. So I know that you said that I'm the person that actually was like telling you to honor your feelings. That's something that I always practice within myself. And when I learned how to do that, when it came to accepting and embracing that I can be angry and pissed off and hurt. Hi, Rose. Hi, Mama Rose. That's my mama's best friend. She's like a second mommy to me. Shout out to Rose from Texas. And I learned that it's okay for me to just be angry and upset and hurt and all those things, because I feel like we're so conditioned to just like stuff those things down within ourselves and not acknowledge that I'm angry and I'm hurt and I'm pissed off and I just want to punch the wall or whatever it is that you want to do in those moments of like not honoring your feelings. And so I wanted to bring you on because you and I talk about that all the time. And so I wanted to get your take on it and I wanted to get your expertise, of course. So, what is honoring your feelings to you? What does that mean?
Well, first of all, I wanted to make mention of what you said, that you were the one who brought that to my attention a few years ago, right? This is
Hmm.
before I even became a coach. We had various conversations about those moments when I would confide in you and feel I was struggling. And your
Hmm.
advice was, hey, it's okay to feel that way, right?
Yeah.
So that however way you're feeling, it honor that. And I didn't understand what that was at first, because obviously our first, at least mine, what I did was I would get mad at myself for being mad, or
Hmm.
I'd be angry at myself for being angry. And I
Hmm.
just thought that is no way to honor myself as a person, because it only made things heavier, right, to
Yeah,
deal with.
for
And you
sure.
said, what if you were to honor by acknowledging how you're feeling, understanding the reason why? And then I decided, okay, I'm going to think about it and just try to understand, why am I feeling this way? So I'd have a little conversations with myself. And then on that day, I would decide whether I was going to continue with what I had planned to do, or if I was
Hmm.
going to take a day off. Maybe some days I watched a movie and had popcorn. Some
Right.
days I continued on and said, okay, I could do this. All is well. I started creating little rituals for
Hmm.
myself. to
Mm-hmm.
deal with how I felt so displaced by my own feeling. And this was an internal, I like to say it for those of you who are watching. And I didn't know that then, but now as a coach, I can say that these moments are inside jobs. Our
Mm-hmm.
perception of what's going on, the pressure that we feel, the anxiety that we feel, this is all brought upon ourselves by ourselves,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
Sometimes the external is still moving, the external is still going on, and we're having this internal conversation. Think about how it is with grief, for example, right? Someone passes on, right? And then a few days go by or a couple of weeks go by, and the world is still going the same way it was before it happened. But you
Yep.
feel at a standstill. You feel
Mm-hmm.
paralyzed by the loss, by the grief. The world continues on, the external continues on. This is why it's so important to honor your feelings, because you can't continue. And the problem is that we would continue in what we're doing, feeling angry, feeling sad, feeling grief. And that doesn't bring comfort. We really need to honor, meaning what you said to me, stop and feel,
Yeah.
right? But here's the tricky part, okay? Stop and honor your feelings, but don't become it.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Sarasi. Good evening. Yeah, you're right. Don't become it, because
Don't
once you
become it.
become it, because you start to embody that, and that's not who you want to be. You should not allow it to define who you are. Yes, it's, honoring who you are and giving yourself permission to feel all the things, because I believe when you give yourself permission to feel, that's when the healing starts.
Right.
That's when the healing starts, because you're able to like really, really sit with the self. I'm a person. Hey, Ray Carr, what's up, girl? I'm a person that I'm always doing self inventory, self introspection, because I always want to be in a space of feeling and sitting with my feelings and what that looks like for me. Hey, Erica Daniel from Valdosta, Georgia. I like to sit with my emotions and my feelings, and I like to sit with my thoughts, because that's the best way for me to truly, truly be tuned in with myself emotionally, mentally, spiritually. And oftentimes we learn to stuff things down, and then we are suffocating on the
Mm,
inside. And sometimes we're not aware of it because we're on autopilot. And when you're on autopilot, you don't know your left from your right. You're just consistently moving. Like you said, life continues. But a lot of oftentimes people don't realize that they're pretty much just like in a sense of just like not really, they're just
hmm
sitting there. And a lot of times too, people are too afraid to confront themselves,
hmm
you
Yeah,
know?
absolutely. And you know, the distinction that I want to make here that I think is really, really important, because oftentimes when we say honor your feelings, people don't know what that looks like, right?
Hmm.
So when we say, don't become your feelings, so that what that means is what happened to you is not who you are, right?
Hmm.
What happened to you is a life event, a moment, a season, something, a tragedy, or you lost someone, or you had a breakup in a relationship, or you're angry at a coworker. All of those things are valid. And when we say honor your feelings, what we're saying is try to understand yourself.
Hmm.
Okay? It's not about solving what happened, because we can't control what already happened. We don't have yesterday, we don't have tomorrow, but in the moment, try to sit with it and understand why you're upset.
Hmm.
What is
Hmm.
really upsetting you? Is this something that someone did to you unfairly? And it's also reminding you of something else that happened in the past. Oftentimes, we're dealing with the subconscious part of ourselves that associates the pain of that disappointment, storm, whatever you want to call it, with
Hmm.
something that happened before. So, as a point of reference, our instinct is to try to solve it, try to resolve it. So when we say honor your feelings, we're saying don't become your feelings, meaning, okay, you can be frustrated, but don't break the wall. Don't
Right.
punch the wall. Don't take it out on someone that has nothing to do with what's going on with you.
Hmm.
Preferably when you honor your feelings, reach out, see if there is a support system, someone, a friend, or someone, or a book you can read, or watch a show, or watch a movie or a podcast, something where you can find some sort of support. A book right there. Look, show your book. I pushed it. Your book. This is a great book, and it's Dillis's book, 365 Days of Affirmations. And this book
Yeah.
will give you you can open any random page, pick a number. And this is a way to sort of deflect the inner conversation, the conversation you're
Hmm.
having with yourself about yourself. In these moments, like I said, me previously, I would sit there and beat myself up, be angry because I was angry. I was angry at myself for being angry to begin with at some point.
Right.
That was the way to actually dishonor me. I wasn't
Hmm.
honoring what I was feeling. So I want to say it's simple, but it's not easy. Okay, because
Yeah.
oftentimes we are triggered, we are remembering something that happened in the past. I have to tell you, I understand way so much more now as a trauma healing facilitator
I
that
bet you do. I bet you do. Because when it comes
operating, right? We're operating from
to
what
trauma,
done before, from trauma. What happened before? Who did what to me? And now this again? Well, I'm not letting them, you know?
hmm
It's so important to have that understanding that, when you are honoring your feelings, you're not doing anything to people who did anything to you. You're not trying to change what happened. You're trying to have an understanding and an awareness of why. Because once you know the reason, you can then say, okay, I can sit here and be sad. I can journal. I can make better choices. I can take a day
hmm
off if I can, or I can take a 20-minute nap, or I can make some popcorn, watch a movie, or watch a show, or watch a
hmm
Dillis podcast.
could do my podcast, my Monday Night Conversations.
You know what I mean? Go back to the YouTube channel and play some of
Right.
your favorite episodes.
Thank you
Everybody
for the
does it
talk.
different. And let me say this one more thing.
Hey, Janet Lewis. Thank you, J Law. Shout out to J Law. I've walked in her fashion show on Saturday. It was amazing.
Aw, that was
Yes,
great. I saw the
it was
video.
so
It was
much
awesome.
fun.
So yeah, so and also remember that everybody does it differently. I mean, it's
Of
everybody
course.
isn't gonna feel the same. It's not a one fits all type of formula. You
No,
have to
it's
know who you
not.
are. Yeah, you have to know who you are and what works for you. How do you feel honored? How do you honor yourself? Everybody does it a little bit different. So
Yeah, everybody does it a little bit different, and everyone goes at their own pace at their own time. I always tell people process your feelings as long as short time as you want to. Like, you cannot do it like I process things differently than everyone else, and so on. And it's not a race. Like, you really, really have to get into the nitty gritty of who you are and the process of honoring those emotions and the feelings that's coming up for you, and giving yourself grace and compassion on all those things that come along with it. Because like you said, it's not easy. Some people are like, well, it's easy for you to say, it's not easy for me to say, but it's constantly doing the work every single day. You're honoring your feelings every day. You're honoring your thought processes every day, because I always say this right here can either make you or break you.
mm,
And I'm a person that I battle with imposter syndrome on a daily basis. And so for me, it's shifting and pivoting the mindset like, yes, you are good enough. Yes, your business is growing. Yes, you are serving. And yes, you're doing this. Yes, you're doing that. As opposed to saying, I'm not where I'm supposed to be. I don't have this and I don't have that, but shifting it and turning it around to say, yes, you have health. You are mentally, emotionally, and spiritually intelligent, mature, stable, all of those things that come with it. And so that's me honoring my feelings in a different way as well, because it's like I'm not only honoring the anger, the sadness, and so on and so forth, but I'm also honoring the joy. I'm honoring my peace. I'm honoring the fact that I'm happy with myself. I'm honoring the fact that I've gotten to experience love and still experiencing love with myself and all the people around me. I'm honoring those around me who truly love and care about me and see me, not this, see the internal me. So it's honoring both. It's not just one over the other, but honoring every feeling, every emotion that you go through in your life.
mm. I like that a lot. I
hmm
think that, if I could illustrate in the moments that I honor my feelings,
hmm
I don't always feel at peace.
Of
I
course
want
not.
that distinction. Sometimes you're going to feel at peace because you're still.
hmm
You're going to feel a little bit rattled because you are feeling and experiencing anxiety, but just understand it's okay. You are okay. So, what I do, my ritual is 3 deep breaths, all is well in between, right? And
hmm
also that feeling that, you know what, some days, to be honest, I have to start over every hour. So I
Yep.
see smaller segments of time in the days that you're struggling, because we're talking something simple that's really not easy, right? It's not
Right.
easy to execute. So one of the ways that you can create rituals is by, just everybody has an alarm on their phone, right? Set an alarm for every hour, and at the top of every hour, take a deep breath and say, "I got this."
hmm
You might have a friend that you can call and who gets you off the ledge, like I do. I can go to Dillis and we
Hey,
talk.
spiritual city girl, thank you for coming. Yeah, we have our moments where we talk each other off the ledge, because you've done it for me as I've done it for you. You know what I mean? And I enjoy those moments with you because you give me insight and you allow me just to be me and express how I feel about certain things as I do the same for you. So I feel like with us, it's reciprocity across the board when it comes to us. Hey, Vernicia, us honoring each other's feelings and how
Right.
we hold space for each other, you
Yes,
know?
and you know what's important about that? I think that one very important thing to say about that is, there is always someone that will be there for you, but make sure that person is holding you accountable too. Okay, because what
Oh,
we don't want
yes.
to see happen is something that I see in the practice of coaching. It is what I call toxic venting.
What's
Toxic.
toxic vent? Explain that.
It's a toxic venting is okay, you have that friend that you know is going to listen to you no matter what, right? So
Mhm.
you just rant her for 30 minutes and you just verbal vomiting everything and going over everything, repeating the patterns, and nothing has changed. You had made no efforts to change your situation. Maybe you can't, maybe you can. And that friend will sit there and listen, but she's not equipped, she or he, not equipped to help you.
Yeah.
And I'm saying this equipped because they do love you and they do want what's best for you, but they don't know how to help you. There are
Mhm.
some people who can't help you. Now, you and I have an advantage. We're both coaches, so we can, and we hold each other accountable. We tell each other hard things. Hey,
Yep.
hold on a second. This is not how it is. Have you looked at this? Have you looked at that? And
Right.
because we can shed light or
Mhm.
shed perspective, that will alter the perception of how we're feeling in the moment. You
And
see, in
and to
these
add to
moments.
that too, with us, I feel like we do it in the most loving, compassionate way.
Mhm.
We're not yelling at each other. We're not bringing each other down. We're not placing judgment, and we're still holding space. Just to add to that.
Right. Holding space in such way that, yes, maybe you have a friend that, even though may not be a coach or a therapist, they still have that capacity to hold space for you with compassion, but
Mhm.
also has some pretty good insights and will hold you accountable. There is such a thing. I'm just saying, be mindful that you're not talking to the people that you know will listen, but
Mhm.
they'll just be like, they don't know what to say, and they will what it will do is that it will allow you to continue to repeat and ruminate over things that are not moving. You
Yeah,
haven't changed a thing about it. All you're doing is repeating the conversation. And even though I believe that venting is important, I think we have to purge. I do. But I think that after every desire, wish, and manifestation comes action. You
absolutely.
have to take an action towards that. So it may be that, you know what, I'm fed up at work because I feel like I'm not making enough money. It's not fair. Okay, then you need to write a letter to your boss and be diligent with asking for a raise or look
Absolutely.
for another job. Otherwise, you're going to live unhappy. And that's the same in relationships, in any area of your life that you feel you need more or you deserve more, go for it. Take an action.
Mhm. And I think that's a good point too, because sometimes we develop resentment towards experiences and situations, and we have to hold ourselves accountable and be responsible for the action that we know we should be taking. That way, we don't experience resentment. Because I know I've done that a couple times in like a job or, um, you know, um, anything that comes to mind, but jobs mostly, or even like clientele or, making this decision to do this or whatever. And I created a level of resentment towards myself because, like you were saying earlier, is like you got angry because you were angry. So I got mad because I was resentful to myself. So having to like really, really sit with the self in those moments of like, how the hell did I do that? Or how did I charge? Like, for instance, for me, I know going through the abusive relationship that I was in, there were times where I'm like, well, damn, I'm smarter than that. I should have seen the signs, or I'm stronger than that. I should have just like walked away. And you beat yourself up constantly over it, and you have the resentment against yourself and a person, and so on and so forth. And I had to honor that those feelings within myself, but I also had to look at different perspectives of what that was like for me
Mm.
instead of beating myself up. So, but I'm going to go ahead and do some card pulls. Would you like a card, Thea?
Sure.
All right.
Sure. I'll
Does
take
any,
a card.
if anybody wants a card pull, can you just put yes in the chat and I'll get one for you? So let me see. I must shuffle the deck. Thank you. It's like 500 cards for you, Dea. All right. So, Goddess Isis wants you to know your existence in this world is extremely important. Your presence in this world will make a difference in humanity. Don't ever feel like your presence is not appreciated.
That's a good card.
It is a good card. Hey, Carolyn James. Okay, so Carolyn, I'll pull one for you and then Vernicia. So let's see. And this is my Goddess Oracle deck. I curated and created this deck with the help of Goddess Isis. And it's one that I'm proud of. All right, Anna. So, Carolyn, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you. All right, Carolyn. Goddess Isis wants to empower you to trust your intuition as it will never steer you wrong. Trust your inner knowing and inner power. Trust your spiritual authority. Trust your spiritual authority. All right, Bernicia. Okay, Erica. Yes, Ray. Not a problem. Let's see what it is for Vernicia. So, Vernicia. Goddess Isis empowers you to look at yourself in the mirror and accept all of what you see. She empowers you to look at yourself with compassion, love, and forgiveness, and she empowers you to treat yourself with mercy and grace. She reminds you that you are the only one that can save yourself. Ooh, ouch. That's for Vernicia. Annabelle. So, Annabelle, Goddess Isis wants you to know that the awakening you are experiencing will take you to new levels that you couldn't even imagine. Your awakening will activate the true you and release the parts of you that are no longer serving you. She will be there to carry you through the rough parts of your awakening with unconditional love and compassion. Spiritual City Girl said, yes. All right, Ray Carr. Ray. So, Goddess Isis wants you to know that you are divinely guided and protected by her. She loves you unconditionally with every fiber of her being. She will never judge you or make you feel less than. Know that she is truly your mother who has the capacity to love you through your joy and your pain. All right, Erica. Received. Wow, that's right on point. I know. That's what I was thinking too, Annabelle, when I was reading it, that's true. That's on point. Who else? Erica. Nope, that's not it. That's my introduction card. All right, let me see. Message for Erica. All right, Erica, Goddess Isis empowers you to tap into your gifts and your talents because it is time. She wants to remind you to step outside your comfort zone and share your gifts with the world. She wants to remind you that you have something powerful to offer humanity, and it is time to step out on faith. You're welcome. All right, AH, not a problem. Next one is Spiritual City Girl. So, Spiritual City Girl. So, you got the same card as Vernicia. Goddess Isis empowers you to look at yourself in the mirror and accept all of what you see. She empowers you to look at yourself with love and compassion and forgiveness. She empowers you to treat yourself with mercy and grace, and she reminds you that you are the only one to save yourself. All right, AH. So, AH, Goddess Isis empowers you to take your power and permission back from who you've given your power and permission to. She empowers you to exercise your power of no without feeling fearful, shameful, or guilty. She empowers you to no longer give explanations or apologies about apologies to others about your life. That's for you, AH. Wow. Everybody's like right on point. What was your take on your message, Dea?
Well, sort of already living that, the understanding of, the with all of the self-inflicted storms and the ones that out of my control and everything that I've experienced in my 59 years of life. I have a deeper understanding that, my journey is about helping others, and it's something that I really enjoy and feel it. It brings me peace to be a part of other people's journey, because I was there once, where I didn't know where to turn. So for me, even being a coach, when I started searching for my own answers, after I was done searching for my own answers, I thought, wow, how many people would benefit from knowing this? And this is why I became a coach. I took all the courses, got all the certifications, and I thought this is going to be a good thing to do, because it's not just from learning, the clinical terms or the everything that is in writing, right, that has been done before us, but also my own experience, in the way that I navigated life in this journey of self-discovery, understanding that, because we have no control of the external, we only can control how we take part in life. And this is something that you really need to work at it constantly until there is no more time to work at it, right? It's
Mhm.
always, we're always growing. And even as a coach, I'm always developing my work. And also as a person, I'm still in that journey. So it's
Yeah,
never, and there's no final destination. So even to say, that of purpose to change something and be here for other people, it's the way that I see that my pain was turned into power,
yeah,
purpose, and
yeah,
peace. The three P's:
yeah.
power, purpose, and peace.
I always
So,
say that I turn my trauma into triumph, and I turn my obstacles into victories. And every time I fall down, I rise up even higher each time, like the phoenix, because that's what I was born here to do. And to be able to, like, as what you were saying, I remember when 2011 happens, and I almost died. I had a near-death experience, and being on a deathbed, shoulda, coulda, woulda. And at that moment in time, I was just like, this experience is happening to me for a reason. And so I too went ahead and got my certification as a life coach, because I felt like those experiences that I had was able to help people along the way. And also, to your point, the reason why I started writing this affirmation book, I actually used to be on Facebook, and I would put like affirmations and about stuff that I was going through, because that was my way of releasing and healing certain things out of my life. And I just felt like people needed to read it, to see it. So I started creating affirmations, and that's
mhm.
how the book came about, because I just felt the need to like copy and paste my affirmations and email it to myself. I don't know why I was doing it, and I found it in 2016. No, wait, 2019. My bad. And I had already did like 185 affirmations. So I said, fuck it, let me just do 365 and just do it. So it's a testament to like what you said about serving and going through the experiences that you've been through, and being able to like say, okay, let me utilize this in a very positive and powerful way, where I am walking in my purpose and I'm serving humanity the way that it was intended to do so.
Hmm.
So you honored your feelings in those moments.
Right. You know what's interesting about that journey too, that I actually found it for myself, is that in the process of helping others, because we're never completely healed, but in the process of experiencing some through someone else's eyes or through someone else's pain, I was reminded of my own. And every single time that I went deeper with them, I also went deeper with myself. And
Yes.
so I see myself as, okay, you are the coach, but you're also the human. You are
Yeah.
helping someone, but you get to hear what they're saying. And I'm not saying that as a coach, I ever express my own experience in a personal way. I don't. I will make a comment based on experience and a deeper understanding. And that gives me also the tool of having a deeper compassion for my clients, understanding,
Yeah.
what, they're having a human experience in real time. And at the end of the day, we could tell them everything that we know. They're still not going to know until they feel it, until it's internalized, right? So in the process though of helping them, I also healed. I continued to heal, because the healing process is interesting, because even in a sense of healing from trauma, which is extremely difficult, right? It takes such a long time. What I like to say, to give a better perspective to my clients so that their expectation isn't unattainable, right? So
Right.
it's like this. It's I say to them, think of yourself as, okay, your heart might have been broken, but your heart is mending, because
Hmm.
mending is an ongoing process, right?
Yes.
It's not like, oh, I'm healed, I'm done, I'm not feeling anything right now. No, you know this, it comes and goes in waves, right? Some days you're doing great, some days something reminds you, right? This is why I went into trauma healing, because I realized how many people were choosing relationships from a place of trauma,
Yes.
meaning I had a bad father, and now I'm going to choose that husband that's going to bring that of which is not healed. So you go into the bad partner, someone who's narcissistic or abusive, or you're missing something, you lost someone, or maybe you were molested, or maybe, and you're going to be brought back to that pain which is not healed. And the
Yeah.
way we do it is subconsciously choosing the people that we want to live up to, the
Mm.
ones that we wanted to get approved from, that we're never going to get that. We're not going to get the validation from those partners. But guess what? It'll bring out the pain from the past.
So
You
let's
don't
talk
want
about that for a moment. Let's talk about never getting the validation or never receiving the apology and how you can move forward from that. Because oftentimes I had an issue with that. Like I know that I wasn't going to get the apology or the validation, and it tore me up inside because it's like, no, I need the validation, I need the apology, and I need this and I need that. So let's go deeper into that because I think oftentimes people have a hard time with that and they don't know how to let that go and they hold on to the resentments and the grudges and the experience and it goes on and on and on and they're so caught up in that that they're not honoring their feelings because they feel like they need to be justified with the validation and the apology. So let's touch on that for a little bit.
Okay, so here's what happens. Most of us, myself included in the past, have done this.
Mm-hmm.
We're so consumed in looking at what was done to us, who did what to us, and how it made us feel that we forget what's happening in us.
Mm-hmm.
You
The
see,
feelings that's
the
in
feeling.
us.
Because here's the thing: we all have a role in our pain, and unless you're a child, unless you were hurt as a child, and you don't have an understanding or the tools to make certain distinctions. If you are an adult or a young adult who made a decision based on either trauma or some life event that made you bitter or not as trusting, you're
Mm-hmm.
going to act, you're going to move forward with that in mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
But somehow it just happens that you're going to run into those people that are going to continue to hurt you
Yeah.
so that you can relive what you need to heal. It's just it makes so much sense now that I'm understanding what trauma is, right? And it doesn't make sense otherwise. And I get it. If you don't understand this, it's okay. It took me so many years to understand this. But here,
I'm understanding it.
here so here's how it works. So, you know, we have to realize that we have a role in our pain. And that
Yeah.
is not that we're not to blame for what happened. Yes, people did something to you, but here's how it works. In some way, whether it was subconscious or not, you chose how to take part in it.
Yep.
Okay, I'll give you
Agreement.
my own example. In my uh, broken marriage, I was well aware what was going on, but I was complacent. I didn't move the way that I should have. I
Mm-hmm.
became a hope junkie. I
Mm-hmm.
thought, no, it's going to change, but I'm doing nothing to change. I just chose to wait and take part
Right.
in a way that left me in more pain than before, even though I thought I was honoring what I had set out. That core value of family marriage backfired
Right.
because I didn't act on it in such way. I took part in it in such way that allowed for it to continue in the wrong way.
Yeah.
Okay. Now think of it this way. If you have a role in your pain, you also have a role in your peace. But here's the difference.
Yes.
A role in your pain could be most likely is subconscious, but a role in your peace is intentional.
Okay, I need you to say that one more again so the people in the back of the pews at the church can hear you.
All right. So the role in your pain is most likely subconscious, most likely from those places in which you behave because by association, it reminded you of something of the past. And this is why you behaved the way you did. This is why you
Mhm.
allowed for it to happen. This is why in some coaching language, and this is going to be harsh to hear, you almost train the person to treat you the way they did by
Yeah.
allowing them to do to you what you shouldn't allow. But
Yeah.
again, it's a little more complicated than what I'm saying. Okay, easier said than done. Now, the role in your piece is intentional. You make
Mhm.
that choice. I'm going to wake up today. I'm going to tell you a really cute story about a client of mine, had a really tough day. She said, I struggled. I was not able to do all the things that you told me to do, all the exercises, the all is well, breathe. I couldn't. I had a miserable day. And the next day when I woke up, I was feeling the same exact way. And I stood in front of the mirror and she said, not today.
Mm.
Not today. I'm still mad, but I'm going to go out there and I'm going to have a good day. I'm going to make a good choice. I'm going to treat myself to a coffee. I'm going to take my lunch break and I'm going to have a good day no matter what happens. You see, and all of a sudden she just burst out laughing
Mhm.
at herself in the mirror. And she was in a better place. And just like that, she let go
Yeah.
because she said, I can't take it anymore. I couldn't even stand myself. You see, if you
Yeah.
ever get to these places where just think about what is it doing to you? I said, that's what I said. I know what was done to you and you know who did what to you, but what's happening in you?
Mhm.
What is happening in you? Are you less present to that relationship? Right? Are you less present at work? Are you less present for yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Are you walking around in contempt and resentment? All of those things. Listen, I don't know about you, but I know a lot of people who had no reason to get breast cancer.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, they show up sick out of nowhere, healthy, eating healthy, doing everything. Stress, resentment, contempt, all of those things are killers.
They are. And it's like an energy that you create within your system and your body because you consistently hold on to certain things and you're causing dis-ease in the system. And that's why we have
Mhm.
so many different things going on. Annabelle says healing is a lifelong journey. You can always control your reaction to the circumstance and hence your peace, but you can't control the circumstances, hence the pain. And AH says, wow, I really needed that. Thank you. You're so welcome. So welcome. Um, the other part about that too is the submission or surrender to learning that the things that you cannot control, let it be what the fuck it is. Let it be what it is. Oftentimes in my life, I try to control everything. The things that were not in my control, like I couldn't do anything about it, and it would drive me crazy. I would be mad, be like, "Why the hell I can't control this? Why can't this person do this? Why can't this happen?" And and just kept the record kept playing all up in my mind. And when I learned that, you know what, there's certain things in life you can't control, you just have to surrender and let it go. Because at that point, it's like, okay, what is this lesson teaching me? What is this experience teaching me? What is it that I need to learn? Because it's the same consistent fucking cycle over and over and over again. Like, what is this? You know? So,
Well, you said in the beginning of when you started talking about this, you said, we thrive to find that person who's going to
yes,
validate us. Let me
yes,
tell you what closure looks like sometimes. Okay. Sometimes closure is the disrespect, as they say. It already happened.
yeah,
This is why it happened. You see, it had to get so bad so that you would get out. You
yes,
know,
agree.
you had to be kicked out. You had to be pushed out of it. Why? Because if you didn't, you might have stayed and taken more abuse. And of
Yes.
course, in the moment, you don't see that. In the moment, it looks like disappointment and rejection. Let me tell you what that is. It's revelation. You're
Mm-hmm.
being shown what you need to do. And you don't want to see it, you don't want to deal with it. But here's the closure. Closure is it already happened. You don't need the
Mm-hmm.
apology to have closure. What you need is to say, let me put on my self-preservation cape on. Put
Mm-hmm.
that on. Self-preserve, okay? Because one of the aspects, one of the pillars of self-care is when self-preservation becomes more important than any kind of reconciliation.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care who it is. If it's a
Mm-hmm.
parent, a spouse, a child, a coworker, a boss. Sometimes self-preservation is more important than reconciliation. And this is where you get to say, no, thank you. I don't
Yep.
need the apology. I don't
Yep.
need, I have seen everything I needed to see. See,
Mm-hmm.
the thing is that in trauma, though, let me just go a little deeper because we're talking I'm saying all of this very gingerly, but there is an element that plays a part when we're talking about trauma. So in
Mm-hmm.
trauma, in a trauma sense, what happens is, yes, you gravitate towards those who can't give you
Mm-hmm.
what you want. Why? Because subconsciously, it makes what happened to you in the past right.
Right.
So whatever happened to you, okay, listen to this. Whatever happened to you, if it made you feel less than, not enough, you're going to find a partner who's going to put you down.
I
Because
experienced that as well.
then, because then, guess what? Then you get to relive your trauma subconsciously,
Yes.
where you're made feel not whole or
Mm-hmm.
not enough,
Mm-hmm.
or the way you were abused or put down or neglected. And you get to be right about that. You see,
Yeah.
in some weird way, we're trying to constantly, when we're not healed from our trauma, we're trying to confirm it over and over and over. So we normally will gravitate towards those who cannot fill or fulfill that void.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think that boils down to as well telling yourself the truth and accepting the truth of what that is, that reality, because I had to learn to tell myself the truth when it came to specific relationships in my life in order for me to get the strength and the courage to walk away
Mm,
and not think about it no more. Let it be what it is. and not to harbor on it, not to hold the grudges. I had to be able to tell myself the truth. This is not your person. This is not the situation. This is not right for you, and you know it. Why you consistently want to do this to yourself, where one, time is a gift, time is a commodity, time is currency, and you don't have time to waste. Are you going to be in a situation where you're going to continue having to prove yourself or make yourself feel uncomfortable or not show up as your authentic self? Or would you prefer to find a level of freedom within your soul to say, okay, this is who I am, and the right person, situation, experience will come along when it's supposed to? And honor.
So go ahead.
No, that was it.
I'm going to add that even though the way that you just explained is right, is correct. But what I'm going to add to that is the fact that why is this so difficult for us to internalize when we're in pain? It is difficult because remember, all is happening on a subconscious level.
Absolutely.
And we're looking at the hurts. We're not associating with the past hurts consciously, right? But in the moment, all we see is what's happening in the moment. And I have learned from my clients when I dealt with trauma healing, when I'm teaching them about trauma, is that it's almost like they want to hold on to the fact that it happened because it keeps them
right.
justified their pain
and justification.
Right. But what they don't understand, I'm going to illustrate it. Look, this is what they don't understand. Let's say that this is your trauma, this little bag. And you get up in the morning every day and you put it on over here. And you go to work with this, with your pain, your disappointments, your whatever they did to you, not paying attention to what's happening in here. You have the backpack on, or the little pouch on yourself. And everything you do, you bring that with you. It's almost as if you said, I'm going to work, but I was betrayed. I'm going to go to this party. I'm going to have a great time, but I was betrayed. You keep repeating this because you're carrying that with you. This is a statement. And this is what I tell my clients. We're going to remove this and put it down, not because it didn't happen, but because it did. See?
So you're acknowledging that it did happen, but at the same time, you're not living in that space of when it happens. Right. And so it's like, I heard a saying one time, we tend to live in the past, the present, and the future all at the same time. So when you think about the things that you've experienced, trauma, you're having these emotions and feelings in the present moment in real time. But then what you're doing is you're creating, like you said, meeting the same person in the future and so on and so forth. And it's still consistently creating that vicious cycle.
Right. It's a box, right? Life is a box. And what we do when we're not dealing with our emotions, trauma, or have done no personal work, and we hold on to the pain of the past or the pain of the present, what we do is that you go in and out of that box, same box with different people. That's what we did. Well, I did it. You go in and out of the same box with different people instead of tear down those walls and build new ones. The way you do that is by creating new habits, by, my goodness, if I can say the most important thing, language. What are you saying to yourself about yourself, right? It's the most important. Now, it's not as simple and easy because when you have trauma, especially early childhood trauma, it's going to be hard to disconnect because that has become a part of your identity. So it's really not that simple. I don't want anyone to leave this live thinking that we're oversimplifying, okay? As a trauma healing specialist, I am telling you, it is so complicated and so deep that it requires you to actually do work.
It does.
But in a nutshell, the way that I'm saying is the illustration of I always tell my clients, I want us to put this down, not because we're going to invalidate what happened, but we're going to say it did happen. And this is why you put it down. As we are still holding on to the things we know, in the meantime, what's happening here?
Exactly.
What's happening here is tempering with your identity. It's tempering with the person that you came here to be. It's tempering with your peace. So whenever I say to them, take the ball and chain off your ankle because it's poison. You're drinking. It's like you're drinking the poison, hoping for the person who hurt you to die.
Right.
You're drinking the poison, but you're like, I hope they die. Well, but you're the one drinking the poison. What are you going to do about it?
Right. Yeah.
There's so much. Listen, there's nothing more beautiful than experiencing peace from surrender.
Absolutely.
Because we're never, ever going to define peace as a life without a problem. That doesn't exist. Peace isn't a life without a problem. Peace is finding that place that you can feel whole in spite of whatever else is going on. I saw a picture once, and I'm going to describe this picture that it said so much to me. It was a drawing. I don't know where I saw it, probably on social media because I don't watch TV. It's a
Mm-hmm.
photo of a storm, and the trees, the palm trees are like this from the way this drawing is. There was so much movement, but there was one palm tree that's completely still. Okay, it's not moving. And on
Mm-hmm.
top of that tree, there was a mama bird and her fledglings. Okay, and that was so beautiful to me to understand that that's the place of peace. It's
Mm-hmm.
finding that place that you can just be whole and still and happy and peaceful, no matter what's going on around you. That is true
Absolutely.
peace. Okay.
Real
And
people.
the other thing I was going to say, the pursuit of peace, by the way, the pursuit of peace is not peaceful. Okay. It's labor. It's labor. You have to find it, you have to seek it. So whenever something
It's
comes up, and
commitment. It's a
it is,
commitment of the
it
self.
is. But whenever, like you said, whenever something comes up, stop asking why. Just ask, what am I learning from this?
Yeah,
Is
you
what
have
is this
to.
feeling? What is this showing me? It's showing me something. It's
Mm-hmm.
either showing you that you allowed that to happen, or that you didn't deserve to get that, or it's telling you that no, you are enough. This is why you're not there anymore. You deserve more. Okay.
Exactly.
Yes, it
Yeah.
hurts. Yes, it's disappointing, but it's also revealing a lot.
So Bernice says rejection is the universe's protection. Carolyn says surrender is a healer, not a win for the other side. Years taught me that. You have a great platform. Annabelle says to keep our own peace, we have to choose to be kind instead of being right towards someone else or yourself. And she also says the pain trauma will color everything in your life if you don't heal, like colored glasses. And Bernice says, I wonder if it's a coincidence that my neck shoulder's hurting for real. It very well might be. All right, guys. So it's time. I want you to pick a number for 1 to 365 while we do the affirmations. And remember, always close your eyes and take a deep breath. And whatever number comes up is the number that you put into the chat. So, beautiful, beautiful Dea, what is your number from 3 to 65?
I'm gonna go with 731. 731. Is that,
7
oh
and
wait, no, sorry. You said three.
365.
I meant, sorry,
It's okay. I was like 731. I didn't write that book yet.
not, that's not what I meant. I meant I want to pick the number 31.
31. Okay.
31. Yeah,
That's
731, 2 years worth of affirmations.
girl. So you said
365
31?
will be 31, yes.
So
30.
31 says, I'm dedicated to healing internally so that I can finally release past trauma that no longer belongs in my heart and spirit. That's your number.
That's good.
So
It's a good one.
322, Anna 322. So 322 says, I view my struggles and circumstances as lessons meant to strengthen me. These lessons prepare me to receive what I am asking for with gratitude and appreciation. Rose 35. You know what? I am so grateful that my mommy's best friend, who's like my second mommy, came on tonight. Like, I'm so grateful. Like, she's known me since I was like 4 years old. And for her to be able to watch my evolution is such a wonderful gift. So, shout out to Rose. So, Rose, day 35 says, I exude confidence and courage, especially during difficult times. And I do not allow challenges to make me feel weak or bad about myself. I take charge of my thoughts and feelings, turning negative thoughts and feelings into positive ones for a powerful outcome. That's 35. Let me go back up. 187. Carolyn, 187. These numbers are coming in hot. 187 says, I do not feel the need to point fingers and blame others for my faults and actions. I remind myself that when I do this, there are three fingers pointed back at me. Ouch. 17 for AH. 17 for AH. So AH 17 says, I am creating amazing opportunities with my gifts and strengths and talents because the world is waiting to see and experience what I have to offer. That's for you, AH. Ray Carr, Goddess Ray Carr. So Ray Carr, day 45 says, I was built to be unstoppable. unbreakable, and unshakable. There is nothing big or small that I can't handle or overcome. That is for you, Raykar. 22 for Vernicia. And she said, and that's a sign to write the book. I already wrote a darn book. I just gotta publish it. I already wrote book number 5. But anyway, 22, Vernicia. I approach myself as well as others with unconditional love, compassion, kindness, honesty, and integrity because we are all imperfect spiritual beings having a human experience. Spiritual City Girl, you said number 3. So number 3 is day 3. I see pure love and beauty when I look in the mirror. I see a powerful masterpiece when I look in the mirror. I see my flaws and imperfections, and I love everything about myself. That's for you, Spiritual City Girl. Okay, so that's all of the affirmations. And Ray Carr says, such a great conversation. Carolyn says, amen. Carolyn says, I will invite people to your page for sure. Much appreciated. So much appreciated. We love this. Let me do an affirmation for myself. The number that popped up for me was 344. And that says, I'm exactly where I need to be right now in my life. I relinquish the need to control every step because my path will be revealed to me sooner than I think in divine timing and divine order. Great. That's definitely where I am. Hi, LaShara. Hey, sis. Can you give me a number from 1 to 365, LaShara? Late to the party, but it's okay. So, Miss Dea, can you tell us as well a little bit more about different ways of how we can honor our feelings? Give us a little bit strategies and tips. Let's go.
Okay, so let's go. Well, one very obvious, right, is for you to sit in this space, make space for yourself, to give yourself permission to experience life in real time with self-compassion. Okay, because everything we talk about, it sounds, so I don't know, sometimes a lot of words, a lot of thoughts, but in real life, it's really hard to execute. So one thing that I like to do is to create rituals for myself. Right? Rituals are not habits. Rituals are the little things you do periodically to sort of give yourself that, little pep talk, or whether it's, what, this week I'm going to focus on eating healthy. I'm going to take care of my body. Or next week, I'm going to make sure I go to bed early. Practice self-care, practice self-love. Okay. Because self-love isn't just about, or self-care isn't just going to get a manicure or go get a massage. That's for the things that you can, write affirmations, say, and it doesn't have to be anything amazing. It could be like, meaning too big, a lot of words. It could just be something. I have a sticker in my mirror that says, I am love, right? That reminds me.
Can I piggyback off of that too with the affirmations?
Yes.
I was looking at a TikTok video a couple months ago, and there was a man that says, it's okay to say I am grateful, but at the same time, practice saying I feel grateful. Hey, Jules 622. It's all good. She says, I know I'm late. Coach Dea is my queen.
Hi, Jules.
So let me go to LaShara. LaShara, is that 3 or is that 13? I don't even know which one number that is. Let me know. Jules 26. Okay. So let me see. Welcome, Jules. Appreciate you being here. So Jules, day 26 says, I no longer allow fear to stop me from living my best life. I stretch and step outside my comfort zone to experience the very best that life has to offer me. That's for Jules.
Perfect.
Hey, Tamaria. Hey. LaShara 13 says, I know my birth date, but I don't know my death date. So it is my responsibility to live my life to the absolute fullest and take action to do everything that makes my heart and spirit smile. You're welcome, Jules. She put the smiley face in the fire.
We know that's perfect for today. So can I finish that?
Go right ahead.
All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the 4 pillars of self-care. So the first one would be take care of yourself physically, right? Physically, go. I'm all for the manicure, pedicure, the massage, go shopping, take yourself to lunch, go to a movie, everything that involves the feel good thing, even if it's taking a nap. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
go for a walk, go get that cup of coffee that you want to get. Everything that has to do about feeling good physically and somewhat emotionally too, right?
Mm-hmm.
The second thing about the second pillar is um, self-preservation, and I said that earlier, right? It's when self-preservation becomes more important than reconciliation of any kind. This is where
Mm-hmm.
you get to say no. You
Mm-hmm.
get to say no. This is not okay with me. And you don't need to be angry or rude. You could just say, let me think about it. It's not for me today, or no, thank you. A
Mm-hmm.
simple no, thank you will do. Okay,
Right.
it will suffice. So the third one is the one of that you get to make a choice, the
Mm-hmm.
choice of deciding that you deserve to take care of yourself mentally. Okay, take
Mm-hmm.
care of your mind. Find a coach. If you can't afford a coach, there are tons of podcasts, books, videos. Find something that you can, yes, there you go. And find something that you can find some of the answers, even if it's on general terms, keeping in mind that if you can't work with a coach or a therapist, which is not for everyone. Everyone needs something different.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure that you are, at the very least, reading about or learning about what other people are doing.
Yeah.
Number four, and it's my favorite, is what I call tribe, the village. Find your support system. Okay, a support
Absolutely.
system could be a group of people, but it could also be one person, one other person, a coach,
Mm-hmm.
or one friend that is going to hold you accountable. Keep in mind that when you're dealing with the tribe, right? It is there is a reciprocal vibe about it, reciprocal dynamic with this. I remember that when I started feeling that I could ask for help, which it took me a long time because I saw asking for help as a weakness. But when
Yes.
I learned that it was a strength, it also allowed me to be there for others. So like
Right.
you and I, right? Like if I call you and I'm struggling, well, next time you're struggling, you call me. It's okay. We're helping each other. And I
Right.
think it's so important to create this muscle of give and take, right?
Absolutely.
Of an
Reciprocity.
exchange. It's an exchange. It's the same in any kind of relationship at work, with
Mm-hmm.
your partner, and with your support system. So self-care,
Absolutely.
physical self-care, self-preservation, choice is this is where you get to decide that you're going to take care of yourself mentally. You find a coach. If you can't afford a coach, you read a book, you get a video. And the last one is tribe, which is the village, right? It takes a village for us to actually get it. And most of us are trying to do this alone, figure everything out, find
Right.
all the answers. We're not going to do it alone. We need others. We need love. We need compassion. And you also can learn that when you're receiving that, you're learning to also give to someone else. And
Absolutely.
my dad used to say this is one of my favorite things to say. He said the best kind of friend is the one that lets you be there for them. We
Mm-hmm.
would like to think it's the other way around, right? Because remember, when you're allowing someone in your life and you're allowing that person to do something for you, what you're
Mm-hmm.
saying to them is you're valuable.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you're
Absolutely.
valuable, and that's something that we don't often think about. We think
Right.
of, if I ask for help, I'm going to be bothering somebody. Now, how about maybe on that day that person needed to know they were worthy of
Yeah.
something?
Yeah. And
Right?
it's also to removing the narrative that you're a burden. Removing the narrative that you're a burden, because I used to struggle with that too. And I'm just like, I know I deserve to have wonderful people in my life that love me and care about me and will be there for me, that will tell me the truth and hold me accountable and all those things. So that's something that I have to practice. And to piggyback off of how the steps for me of how I honor my feelings, the first thing is giving myself permission to feel. That's number one. The second thing is telling myself the truth about how I feel, not sugarcoating it. The third thing is taking action of asking myself, like, what is this feeling teaching me? What am I supposed to be learning about it? And also learning how to self-soothe and self-regulate my mind, heart, body, and spirit. That's exceptionally important to me, learning how to self-soothe and self-regulate, because when you do that, you put your body at a space of peace where you're not holding on to the energies that we were talking about that causes all these diseases. That's what is helping me to do. So it's just releasing all that shit that's not serving me at all. Learning how to regulate.
And I want to add, if you don't know what that looks like,
Mhm.
it's okay too.
I-
Okay, because I think a lot of us, see, for us coaches, it's easy for us. We've done the work for years.
Oh, the
It's
work
easy
is
to
like, ugh.
identify. But maybe some of you who are listening, either now or later, they're gonna, watch the
Right.
replay. You're
Extra
gonna say, "But
replay.
I don't know how to do that." So, self-awareness, right? Start to ask yourself these questions. How do I feel loved? That's the first thing you should
Yes.
ask. How do I feel loved? Because in the end, this is what's going to happen. every single time that you're trying to self-regulate or you're trying to honor your feelings, it's always going to come from the same place,
Yeah.
which is love.
And also, how do I want to experience this love for myself or in myself? What does that look like for me? And don't be afraid to answer the question for yourself of how you want to experience and feel love for yourself. I think that's important too, for sure. So, one more thing I want to add, y'all, before we leave, before Coach did. But also too, do you have any types of like holiday special offers going on? Like what's going on in the land of Coach Dea that she can tell us about?
I want you guys to stay tuned for my upcoming mentorship membership program. It's going to be called the Radiant Woman, and it's going to be it's going to be all about the process of life and love and relationships, and how we navigate these places of exchange with another, but from a place of self, from a
Mhm.
place of being happy, whole, and healthy, right?
Right.
In a way that we are not needing that person. In other words, your second chance is not a man, right? If you're happy, whole, and healthy, and you have a relationship with a man or a woman, any kind of relationship, even if it's a better relationship with family members or a better relationship with at work, right? It should
Mhm.
come from you. We shouldn't be expecting people to give us. Become the person you want to attract. Give what you want to receive. Okay. The expectation is something that always stop. I think it stops people from being who they need to be. So when I say to you, I have that sticker that says, I am love. If I don't feel loved, then I am loving. You have to be loving in order to get what you want. Okay, so this program is going to be, I think I'm launching at end of October. I'm not sure yet. I mean,
Yeah.
end of November. We are in October. We are in the end of October, end of November. So yeah, I'm in the process of finalizing all of the.
Good
Uh,
stuff.
so it just stay tuned. Follow me on Instagram at Coaching with Dea, and then I'll be posting some upcoming, some updates about it.
Good stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and do 3 card pulls for Lashara, Jules, and Tamaria. So Lashara, Goddess Isis wants you to remember that you are filled with unconditional love. She wants you to remember that you are exceptional and a wonderful gift. She wants you to remember that the world is waiting for you and what you have to offer with your gifts. That's for Lashara. For Jules, 626, Goddess Isis wants you to know that the awakening that you're experiencing will take you to new levels that you couldn't even begin to imagine. Your awakening will activate the true you and release the parts of you that are no longer serving you. She will be there to carry you through the rough parts of your awakening with unconditional love and compassion. And Tamaria, your card is Goddess Isis wants to empower you to speak your truth and say what needs to be said. Don't allow anyone to intimidate you or make you feel small because you are bigger than that. Your voice and emotions deserve to be heard and felt because it's part of who you are. So I hope that helps. And on top of that, too, to add to that, I'm actually doing my annual 12 card pull for 2025. I'm going to start early here in October. So, what that is you would go ahead and pick a date and time, and I will send you a recorded reading. It's 12 cards. Hey, Naya. Everybody's just popping up. It's 12 cards, each message for each month from January to December of 2025. You will get a recorded card pull that way, plus a guided affirmation. And then once you finish watching your 12 card pull, we jump on a 15-minute call and you ask me any questions or concerns and just let me know like what resonated with you with the message. And and then after that, there's a surprise gift which I'm not going to talk about right now. So, anyone who's doing early bookings from now until next week or now until November 1st, you get the surprise gift. So, make sure that you go to the link that's in the description box or my YouTube. It's in my YouTube, and go ahead and book your recording for your 12 card pull. It's only $25, easy and simple. And yeah, pretty much that's it. I have other specials going on, which I'll talk about later at another time. Naya, would you like a card pulling an affirmation? Say yes before we log off. Thank you so much. So, again, hi, Leo. What's going on? Leo, would you like a card pull or would you like an affirmation? Let me know. I already booked. Yeah. Yep. LaShaw already booked hers because she says I'll be busy. Got it. So, Thank you so much, Coach Dea, for joining me. I appreciate you, my sister. I love you so much. Like, you know, we talk every single day. We have this thing when we get off the phone, we like call you at 4 o'clock in the morning. I bet.
True, true. Well, thank you for having me here once again. I think we've been doing lives for many years now, right? It started
Okay.
off on Facebook. We met in 2015. I think that there's a lot to be said for this type of sisterhood. I believe that we have a soul connection,
We
right?
do. We
It's
do.
it's beautiful. I hope that everyone who's watching, that you find that person that is your sounding board, the person that you can go to, and they will hold you accountable. They will hold space when you can't, because we're not always going to know everything and have all the answers. Just be
I'll
gentle
talk.
with yourself. Give yourself grace. Be gentle with yourself. That's the thing that I
Right.
want to say. Self
Right.
love is you accepting everything, okay, the good and the bad. And we're not meant to be perfect, okay, we're
Right.
meant to just be real. Just be real.
Right. Right.
Okay, and thank you, Dill, for having me here. Mwah.
Absolutely. And for those who are in the Savannah area, I'm doing an in-person 12-card poll at Mailbox Cafe tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. So pull up on me, but first go and schedule the appointment and then meet me at Mailbox Cafe. It's going to be a 15 to 20-minute experience with me, the same concept that I just said just now. Naya, your card is Goddess Isis wants you to stay present in each moment and not to focus on the past nor future. She wants to remind you to find joy and peace in real time. She wants to remind you to bask, enjoy each day when you awaken in the morning. She wants to remind you that your future will be prosperous based on what you do in the present moment. Didn't we just talk about that?
Yes, we did.
Awesome. So can you please make sure that you follow Coach Dea? Hey, Stacy Gardner, like everyone's just coming in now. What the hell?
It's coming in. We've been here for an hour.
It's
This
all
always happens. This always happens.
Yes. So everyone, please, please, please follow Coach Dea on Instagram. She gives amazing information and strategies and tips on her Instagram. And Naya says yes. Stacy, would you like a card pull? Let me know. Naya, if you want me to read an affirmation for you, give me a number for 12365. I guess I'm gonna be on here for a little bit, Dea. You can stay if you want to. That's fine. But make sure you follow Coach Dea. She has a lot of amazing opportunities and different things going on. Question for you, Coach Dea: are you bringing back your podcast?
Not so soon, not yet. So I did 2 seasons, right? And I had about, I would say, 16 or 17 episodes.
I remember.
I have the award-winning podcast episode on Apple currently, Apple Podcasts. So if you want to
Yes.
watch it, love most the podcast with Dea, and Dea
Mhm.
spelled DEA, as you see there. And this is actually, my podcast was before I became a coach, right? So I was doing some work and bringing people, inviting people to talk about various things about their lives. My whole thing was I love connecting people with people, right? So it was all about bringing people who had a service, a book, a product, and highlight what they were doing, because if it helped connect them with other people in the world and help solve some issue in some way, I was interested in hearing about it. And I did an interview with an award-winning, multi award-winning filmmaker by the name of Dr. Kevin McAfee,
Mhm.
who had like a very extensive bio. It was incredible. I couldn't even read his whole bio in the thing
I
in the
bet.
podcast
I
episode.
bet.
But that episode was the award-winning podcast episode.
Okay, good.
Won the 28th annual um, Communicator Awards, the Award of Excellence, and it was great. But to answer your question, no, I'm not going to bring it back just yet, because
Okay.
I'm focusing on the mentorship membership program and also speaking publicly. I'm going to be appearing in a couple of conferences in 2025. And I've already done a few conferences this year, some online, some in person. So
Mhm.
I'm sort of gearing, kind of focusing on that now. The podcast, eventually, I will bring it back. But when I bring it back, I'm going to bring it back as Coach Dea. So we'll see what
Okay.
happens. Yep. But thanks for asking.
Of course. So, Stacy, your affirmation, I mean, your message from Goddess Isis is Goddess Isis empowers you to trust yourself in the process on this journey you are on at the moment. She empowers you not to rush the process and take your time learning all of the valuable lessons. She empowers you to embrace everything new that you are uncovering about yourself. So, Leo Elaine, which is one of my other sisters who's amazing, says she's following you now.
Oh,
So
thank you.
Leo,
I'll make sure to follow back.
absolutely. Leo, your message from Goddess Isis is Goddess Isis empowers you to tap into your gifts and talents because it is time. She wants to remind you to step outside of your comfort zone and share your gifts with the world. She wants to remind you that you have something powerful to offer humanity and it's time to step out on faith. Hey, Miguel, what's going on, Miguel? Let me know if you want a card pull. Damn, everybody's coming in. Okay, Naya, 121. I guess I'm going to be here a little bit longer.
You
Date.
can let me go if you want. I won't be upset.
Do you want to stay or do you have to go?
I don't have to go, but it's up to you. I mean, are we still going to talk about healing here or the honoring of feelings, or do you think we have done justice to the subject?
I think we've done justice to the subject for
Okay.
sure.
So I'll let you do your reading. I'm going to say goodbye and thank you for
Absolutely. Thank
inviting
you.
me, and everybody who watched. Thank you. Follow my page, Coaching with Dea. Connect
Mhm.
with me. You can send me a DM. I'm going to keep everybody informed about the mentorship at end of October. I promise. Still working on a couple of things. I mean, sorry, end of November. I don't know why I keep saying October. We are at the end of October. It's hard to believe, but we are end of November. Okay, that's
Gotcha.
gonna all happen coming up soon. So stay tuned and
Everybody's saying, Coach, thank you, Coach Dea. They appreciate you.
you're so welcome. Bye.
Bye. You can go ahead and log off. I'm gonna stay on for a little bit.
How do I log off? I think you have to take me out of here, don't you? Putting me in the way in the backstage. You got to put me on backstage.
Okay, there you go. Then you can go off. No. Okay, let me do it this way. Okay. So, all right, Naya, date 121 says, my healing is ugly, painful, scary, and uncomfortable, but also beautiful and powerful and very necessary for my growth. Hey, Latasha, what's going on? Do you want a card pull? Let me know. Miguel, do you want a card pull? Leo and Stacy, do you guys want an affirmation? Let me know what number do you want? Number from 1 to 365. I have been here for a while. Okay, Latasha, do you want a card pull or do you and also do you want a affirmation? Let me know. Thank y'all for coming on and being here. Appreciate it. Sure. All right, Stacy, what number? Give me a number from 1 to 365. Number from 1 to 365. Let me know. Okay, so Latasha, thank you. Latasha is 251. Leo, Stacy's 109 and Leo is 82. All right, 251. 251 for Latasha. I replace excuses and explanations with actions and accomplishments. I replace excuses and explanations for actions and accomplishments. That's for you, Latasha. Stacy, 109. So 109 says, I choose to break away from the conditioning I received during my upbringing. I am working towards establishing my own beliefs and creating the life that I desire. That's for you, Stacy. Damn, that one was pull a card. All right, cool bet. So Leo, 82 says, I choose to ask others, how can I support you instead of thinking about what I can get from others? Situations do not always have to be about me because there are others who need a helping hand and a listening ear. That is for you, Leo. All right, so Miguel, pull a card. Let me see. What is the message for Miguel? Thank you so much. And Miguel, let me know if you want an affirmation. Give me a number from 1 to 365. So Miguel, your message from Goddess Isis. You're welcome. Goddess Isis wants you to know that you are the master of your thoughts and feelings. She empowers you to release the thoughts and feelings that are not for your greatest good. She empowers you to let go of negative belief systems about yourself that are not true. That's for you, Miguel. That's for you. You're welcome. Let me know if you want me to give you an affirmation, Miguel. You're so welcome, Tasha. You're so welcome, Latasha. Miguel, give me a number from 1 to 365. I know, boom, right? Wasn't they awesome, guys? You already know. I know. I know. I couldn't have pulled that card myself if I wanted to. I know. So once Miguel gives me his number from 1 to 365, then I'm going to log off. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. All right, number 23. 23 says, I remain dedicated to self love and self care. I do not allow life and work to prevent me from taking care of my mental, emotional, and spiritual health. That's for you, Miguel. It pretty much lines up with the stuff that you do. So thank y'all once again. Make sure that you follow Coach Dea. And again, I am offering my 12 card poll for the year of 2025. Right? Thank you. And so what that is, if you get 12 cards for each month, January to December, you get a message and it's a recorded reading. And then you also get a guided affirmation for you to affirm yourself throughout the whole year of 2025. And then on top of that, too, you get a 15-minute call with me, either FaceTime or Zoom or even here on StreamYard, to ask questions and concerns and let me know how the whole overview of the reading resonated with you. And you also get a surprise gift from me. And that's for those people who are booking their 2025, 12 card pull, starting from today until November. So that's for virtual, but also I'm doing an in-person 12 card pull tomorrow at Mailbox Cafe from 10 a.m. to 1:30 here in Savannah. For anyone who is here in Savannah, same concept. You would just go to the link in the bio here on YouTube. Just go to my profile page. You're going to see it, and go ahead and book your session with me and meet me at Mailbox Cafe to do it in person so you can experience it in real time. And it's only $25, guys. So go ahead and purchase and meet up with me at Mailbox Cafe. I'm probably going to do it again on Friday, but tomorrow is the first time I'm doing it and moving forward. And I have other special offers for the holidays coming up. I'm actually working on doing things now until December the 1st, because I don't want to wait until December to start doing this. I want to start it now. And this is a good way for you to get ready so you don't have to be ready. So when January 2025 hits, you already have the wheels in motion and you're positioning yourself based on the 12 card pull that you receive. And based on the card pulls that I did right now in real time, you actually get to experience exactly what that looks like. So anyone here in Savannah, meet me at Mailbox Cafe tomorrow. Anyone that's not in Savannah, feel free to just go and just schedule your 12 card pull. I will send a recording to you in a YouTube unlisted link, which is private and personal only to you, unless you want to share it with somebody else. That's your business if that's what you want to do. And then the following day, we can jump on a call, either StreamYard or FaceTime or Messenger or whatever's comfortable to you. Talk about it, discuss it. You can ask me questions and concerns about it, and then I will let you know what the surprise gift is. So again, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate everyone, and I'm gonna get off here because the sister's tired. Talk to you guys soon. Have an amazing evening.